What's going on, everyone? And welcome to the first episode of the Yards After the Catch podcast. We're excited to have you here listening or watching, wherever you can find the podcast. I'm your host today, Alex Young, but everyone might take turns around the horn hosting here and there. We have a great team. Started off, I'm going to go over to Desmond. Desmond, welcome.
Hey,
How you
thanks
doing?
for having me back on. Pretty good, pretty good.
Awesome, awesome. Alex, introduce yourself so everyone can hear.
What's going on, everybody? Long time no see. Happy to be on for another season of football. Very excited to talk to all y'all. So I'm Alex. I'm based here in Connecticut. Diehard Raiders fan, lovable loser, savant. Happy to be mixing up with you guys. Some new friendly faces we're gonna have in the audience over the course of the season. So I'm ready to rock and roll with y'all. Let's make some magic happen.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Alex. And CJ, introduce yourself real quick.
Hey man, you already know what it is. It's Godzilla on IG, or you can follow me at Yacht Boys Media. And I'm a Steelers fan. Just here back at this again. Glad to be mixing it back up with my boys, man.
Awesome. Thank you guys all. And two people who aren't here who will be making appearances on the podcast is our boy Brian and our other boy Nico. You'll see them. Brian is a Cowboys fan, so our next topic is going to hurt him a little bit. We'll summarize his statements that he made. We're look forward to that. And then our boy Nico, who's not really like a team fan, he's more of a player fan. He's like a betting guy kind of thing. He'll explain when he's on the pod, but we got Brian and Nico. And for those, I know Desmond did not say who
I
he was
messed
for,
up
but
already.
you get to see he messed up a
Apologies.
little. First episode, we'll get there. He is an Eagles fan. So
Hey young,
Yes,
hey
sir.
young, hey young. We're
Yes.
not gonna do that. He's not about to hurt a little bit. He's about to hurt a lot of bit.
yes,
Let's get into
Brian,
it.
Brian's gonna
Let's
hurt a
get
lot.
into it.
Well, let's get into it. And for those who are listening as well, again, Alex Young, I'm hosting. I'm a Giants fan. I've been a Giants fan my whole life. Reason why I love football is because my dad
That
took me
hurts.
to a Giants game when I was young, and I know it's been hurtful last years, but I've been a season ticket holder. My family's season ticket holders for the Giants for over 50 years, so I have a lot of love for the New York Football Giants. Our family has had tickets to the Polo Grounds. So we've been a while through all the up and
That's
downs, and I've
painful.
seen two Super Bowls in my life, so that's a lot. I know Desmond's seen one. And yeah, and CJ's, but again, Alex, sorry. Hopefully, eventually, you'll see the Super Bowl. But
Damn. Don't lie to him.
with that, let's get to our next topic, which is the city of Dallas. And they've been talked about a lot in another sport for a reason, for trading a player in the prime of the career to a major city in the NBA, and the city almost burned down. Now we're gonna go to the NFL. And what did Jerry Jones and Dallas Cowboys do? They trade their defensive superstar in the prime of his career to the Green Bay Packers, the team that whooped their ass in the postseason. So we're going to get into that right now. And in our initial reactions to the Micah Parsons trade over to the Green Bay Packers. And I know Brian, who's going to be listening to this, is going to hurt a lot. So I'm going to go real quick first. My initial reaction was I laughed. I legit laughed. I feel bad for the city of Dallas because they lose Luka Doncic, and I'm like, okay, they get Cooper Flag. It's all right. Things will get better in that city. And now they lose Micah Parsons. And I'm like, Jerry Jones, come on, man. This is getting absolutely ridiculous that Jerry Jones has let his ego get the best of him, and he's traded his superstar, marketable player to Green Bay, who just whooped their ass in the postseason for, I think, a package that was not great. I know you get two firsts, you get a defensive tackle to stop the rush, but okay, he's not going to really stop the rush. Whatever. I laughed. I thought it was pretty funny. That trade is an absolute mess, and in the next few years, a lot of us are going to look back at it like the Luka Doncic trade. That was awful. So with that, I'm going to go over to CJ because I see CJ's initial reaction. I know he's probably going to have a lot to say. So CJ, I want you take it away. What was your reaction to the Micah
We
Parsons
we
trade?
we 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 not gonna act like that wasn't a bad trade. It was a miserable trade. You got rid of your best, arguably your best defensive player, and you got a defensive player in return. And let's be honest, they're about to spend those picks on offense anyways. So like we're not an offensive line at that. So we're not about to sit here and act like this trade was like okay or mediocre. This was downright garbage. But hey, I'm gonna let somebody else say something about it.
Let's go over to Desmond, the other NFC East fan who was probably smiling like me after that trade. Desmond, what was your reaction to the Michael Parsons deal?
Man, we face the Cowboys tomorrow night. You have no idea how happy I was to see that. No, in all seriousness, Micah Parsons, it was hurting me to see him go to the Cowboys 'cause I'm a Penn State fan. I loved him at Penn State. Seeing him go to the Cowboys the last few years has been tough. Seeing him leave the Cowboys is a great relief. Um, I think that this trade could end up being great for the Cowboys in the long run. You're getting 2 firsts back. Those could be anything. If we're just being honest with each other, you can package those and turn them into a larger first round pick. I mean, first round picks could be just about anything anymore. You never know who you're going to get in the first round. I mean, the Eagles have been consistently getting great picks in the first round
Des,
over
why
the
you
last few
lying?
years. You don't know. The thing is, you don't know.
He has to be the
Today,
optimist.
today it's a bad trade. Today it's a
Des, why
bad
you
trade because
lying?
your team is worse today. I'm happy your team's worse today. I am
Who gave him
laughing that
those
your team's
picks?
worse today. But you never know what those picks are going to turn out to be. So
Exactly, and that's the
time will
case
tell.
here
Time will
because
tell.
Green Bay going to be in the playoffs, so they're not going to be top 10, top 15 picks. If anything, they're going to be like a 20 to 30. Like, come on.
Anything can happen in football, CJ. I can agree, but there could be an injury away of that pick being top 10. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Packers are a good enough team that regardless, that pick at best would be in the 18 range. But
I'm just saying, like the Ravens got Lamar Jackson at
yeah,
the end of the first round. So I mean, let's not act like you can't
yeah,
hit big in the
no,
end
you
of the
can
first round.
hit big
You can.
again,
You can.
and I agree with you. That I know in the long run that could be, but again,
You
the
never know.
Cowboys
You never know.
have a big
They
salary
got
cap.
lucky.
They
How many
try to
teams packed
win.
up
They
on
have to get
draft?
lucky with those 2 first-round picks. I don't really
Yeah.
know, but we haven't heard from the other Alex. Alex, what was your thoughts on the Micah Parsons deal?
Talk to us.
I mean, I think I was just as dumbfounded as everybody else. I think the most painful thing, if you're a Cowboys fan, is like you didn't even trade him out of conference. It's like you're gonna have to run into him eventually, even if you guys are a
3
contending
weeks from
team.
now.
Yeah. So
Jerry Jones
literally.
has dementia.
Yeah. So he's gonna come back to haunt you. I mean, again, we already said he's 26-year-old edge rusher, all-time talent, once in a generation type of edge rusher. He's in his prime. He's in peak performance health. Never had really any injury history. But the reality is like you got all this window of time where you're supposed to be competing with this division, and you're just going to be the laughing stock for 3 years. I understand over the long run, Desmond's right. Like this may work out. You got 2 firsts, however you manipulate those. They've had a good track history of drafting well in the first round. Taking the safe picks with loading up that offensive line in front of Dak so that he could come in and walk in during his rookie season and have immediate success. But I just don't feel that with the leadership that Jerry Jones has put forward, he's looking more like a senile guy on his way out than he is ceding ground to Steven, which is the smart thing to do, and he's not doing it.
Listen, Joe Biden Jones needs to sit. Yeah.
Mr. Autopen.
It's like, I'm done. That was it. That's all I wanted to say. Joe Biden Jones.
Yeah. Like I said, this deal, it's again, same thing with the Luka and Dallas, and I think a lot of people who are sports fans are going to look at this trade years from now, and we have to see what happens. Does the Dallas Super Bowl curse? And probably not. Again, you 3 players. You have to try to hope to win in the next 3 years, because otherwise, who knows? They hit on both picks, great. But I think, in my opinion, I think they could have gotten a lot more for Micah Parsons than just 2 firsts and a player. I think they kind of rushed into it. And again, I think Jerry Jones' ego came to play here. There's a deep conversation we can have about that. I know Brian had a long statement.
Very
we'll
long
try.
Let me start it off. We'll
go to Siege if you want to start it off, but we could try to summarize it too, because it was
I'm gonna try to
4 pages.
you know what I'm saying? Like, we watched the downfall of the Dallas Cowboys for years. This is me summarizing, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Summarizing. For years. The dynasty was built on Jimmy Johnson's vision. Jimmy Johnson's been long gone since. Not dead, just gone from the franchise. Jerry Jones has been a constant ever since. Without Jimmy guiding the ship, it's been going astray, how we say. Once again, paraphrasing here. The truth is simple. Jerry doesn't understand the game the way a real coach and general manager does. He never will. You know what I'm saying? He is more concerned with the soap opera that is the Dallas Cowboys. Damn, I just got to say that Byron was kind of laying into this, and he's damn right. Keep going, Brian. I said Byron. I meant Brian. I'm sorry. I've been sipping. The Dallas Cowboys, then it's actual purpose, which is football. Jerry is a trailblazer in marketing and monetizing sports, but when it comes to building a team and running an organization, he ain't that. So, anyone else want to take it from there? That was my
Yeah,
paragraph. That was my.
I can go in on here. He just kind of says with the Micah Parsons trade that it was a dagger. You don't sub players like Micah Parsons, like we all discussed today. He was a generational talent, the heartbeat of the defense, one of the best defenders in the league. And then trading one of the best players of the era for pennies on the dollar is just why not focus on the present? Is what Brian was kind of saying. Um, I would say I'm going to read the last two real quick because I think it's kind of poignant. But he said, "This is what it feels like to be a Dallas Cowboys fan right now. Torn between love and frustration, between pride in the star and exhaustion from the dysfunction. We deserve better. And until there's real change in the front office, I fear we'll keep watching great talent like Micah walk out the door and we'll keep reliving the same heartbeat we've known for the last 3 decades." His final one, which I think is poignant, just talk about some of the players that have been wasted, and again, can be continue to waste it. But it's a cycle of wasted potential. Jason Witten, Des Bryant, Tony Romo, DeMarco Murray, DeMarcus Ware, Sean Lee, Tyrone Smith, Zach Martin are just a few of the players that were stars in Dallas without any hardware to back it up because of Jerry's inabilities to read the room. We actually need defense this year. You need to pay top players top money. Maybe it's time to get a GM. Maybe it's time to fire the coach. Maybe it's time for Jerry Jones to pull a Jerry Jones, like the firing of Tom Landry, and fire himself. So again,
Now,
huge points by Brian there. Kudos to him. It was 4 pages. CJ did a great job. I just wanted to say to wrap up those 2 points, those two bullet points, because I think they were very poignant in this conversation. But CJ.
because his opening statement was heavy, and I summarized it to the best as I could without leaving out a lot of his bold points. But I will say this: the names that you mentioned in his last statement is factual. It's a lot of wasted talent that came through. You could even go before that. You could even go
Yeah.
before that when they even had the names of Terrell Owens. It's just you got to look at the wasted. First of all, we're not going to put Romo on that list and act like Romo was like, but Romo
But they
was a
had enough
game
to win there
manager,
with
though.
Romo, though.
They definitely did. They needed one or two more pieces
Mm.
on that Romo Des Bryant offense to win. Literally. Because I'm not saying Romo was only bad because as Romo got older, the offensive line was okay, but he still needed more
And then he
pieces.
got hurt.
People
And
weren't
then,
getting open.
Yeah.
He got
yeah.
hurt. Like if you weren't following football, you wouldn't know. But like it is what it is. But Jerry Jones has had many opportunities to make this thing work, and he's just showed us many times now that he's fucking senile. I'm just saying that. That's all I'm saying. That the man don't know how to
Yeah.
run an organization.
Yeah.
And I want to ask in a whole if this trend of badly running an organization is a business ploy, a strategy, or they just don't know what they're doing. Because the Texans, Washington Commanders, at some point they turned it around, and both franchises have turned it around in the recent years. But their names on the list for franchises, organizations who have been notoriously bad at handling top like talent. So it's like, what do we do here? Like, is it a business ploy, or is it just a front office thing?
I I will just answer, and I guess Alex and Desmond, you could chime in. I think he's the reason why the Jones thing in Dallas is the issue is that his ego is so large because they're the most valuable team in the sport. He is one of the most powerful owners in sports. I think that's what's holding them back, especially after looking at this deal. Is his ego got in the way? He got annoyed about how Micah was. He's putting his foot down to show that he's the biggest owner, the big bad wolf of the NFL, if you will, and he
Big
doesn't care
cheese.
what anyone else thinks about him. The things that changed in Washington is because they got a different ownership group and a different culture change, and that finally did something. Houston, they got the right head coach and a culture change, and everything set up there. You're hoping again with the Raiders, same deal. Different, like the Davis, but you hope bringing in a Brady, bringing in a head coach like Picaro, culture change, right? Like that's what you have to hope. And I don't think, unless Jerry changes ways miraculously at his old age, which he's not going to, got to guess a GM that he'll finally listen to, or finally take a step back. it's going to be the same cycle. His ego's always going to get in the way.
Yep.
He always wants to be the star. The spotlight's always on him. He's doing his radio bites. He's always talking to the media. He just traded a superstar. He talked to the media hours later. Usually you let a day or two pass before. Nope. I think by the end of the day, he was already talking to the media that night. So until that changes, I think he's just going to let things be because he's the richest owner or has the most valuable team in sports, or one of.
It's because they operate as like an insulated aristocracy. They don't have any real credentialed people from the outside penetrating that field for them, so they can get an honest assessment. And they have the exact opposite strategy as what New England ran, which is getting out a year early than a year late on these contracts, and they always get stuck, giving the bag to people who don't deserve it. Dak, fourth rounder, paying $48 million to sit on the bench. Zeke getting a second contract when he was over the hill, and then bringing him back for still more money. And
Talk about it.
I mean, it's just constant paying guys who are always hurt.
Yeah.
And just getting these rose-colored glasses for guys who have showed loyalty. But I think I disagree a little bit with what Brian said about some of those players' assessments, because I think they've squeezed all the juice out of some of these players. I just think that they have shown undue loyalty in a salary cap league. And I think that's really hampered them when they've needed that honest assessment most.
I'm going to keep my thing really brief here because I've got a lot of other topics that we need to get to. So I don't want to get too stuck on this Cowboys conversation.
Yeah.
I think that Jerry Jones knows exactly what he's doing. I think that Jerry Jones is one of the few billionaires in the NFL who does not have a second enterprise that he focuses on. Like, the Cowboys ownership is his main source of wealth, unlike, Arthur Blank, who has Home Depot, and you got other billionaires who have other corporations they're running as well. So Jerry's entire wealth is caught up in the Dallas Cowboys, and they are the most profitable franchise in all of the NFL. I think he's more interested in having the soap opera around his franchise because that's what draws eyeballs to them. That's what keeps everyone talking about them, and I think that's what keeps that valuation so high. I think Jerry cares more about the profit he's making as the Cowboys owner than actually how good this Cowboys team is. And I think that that's why he kind of operates the way that he does. He doesn't care about losing a few million on a few contracts here and there because he's making more and more billions through the fact that the Cowboys are constantly being talked about by everybody. Look what we're leading off the show with right now. So I think that at the end of the day, everyone thinks that Jerry's a little senile. I think Jerry knows exactly what he's doing. I think he's trying to make money. He doesn't care if the Cowboys suck because he knows that everyone's going to keep talking about them anyway. It's actually a great business ploy.
Well, and it gets buttressed by the fact that they have all these industry plants and the corporate press doing all the sports shows that are all former Cowboys. So it's kind of like an echo chamber too.
Yeah. I mean, the Cowboys are perpetually mediocre for a reason, everyone. I mean, Jerry does not care. He doesn't care. The Cowboys will continue to be as they are, a 500 team until Jerry Jones leaves. And until then, I'm sorry, Brian, but 8-8, here we come.
I don't even know. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It might be a little worse. We'll see. They have a tough schedule. And we'll talk about that. But now, we're done with the Micah talk. Let's have some fun. We're going to go with some early season predictions, if you will. Season starts tomorrow. Football's back. We are super excited. So we're just going to play a fun little game. And our fun little game will be one pick from last year who made the playoffs, who won't make it this year. And we'll do AFC and NFC for that. And then one team that was out of the playoffs that we're in. And there'll be both NFC and AFC for that. So first, let's start off with the one playoff team last year that will be out this year. We'll start with the AFC. Alex, let's go to you for this one.
So a team that is going to be surprised in the playoffs that was not in the playoffs last year?
So team that was in the playoffs, they'll be out this year.
Okay. So that's easy for me. I think it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I know it's tough to go against history because Tomlin's always been in the playoffs or at least had an above 500 season. But the reality is they lost a lot in this offseason. I think that division is stacked. I think they have a tough schedule. And I just don't believe in Aaron Rodgers at 40 years old. I think he's made of glass. I think that with his backup situation, a tough, situation, behind the scenes with that depth chart with the quarterback. I just think that they're bereft of talent on the offense, losing Najee and having these issues at the receiving core. So I don't think that DK is going to, basically gloss over all their issues, I think they're going to have more glaring issues. So they're going to have to win a lot of these scrappy, 20 to 13 kind of games. And I just don't know if Aaron can put him over the top if he's not healthy.
Oh, can I go next on this one?
Wait. Listen.
Before Bars gets all defensive about his Steelers here.
Go ahead.
We'll go Desmond. I guess let's stick with the AFC. Let's keep the AFC, keep it unique. Let's go with Desmond. We'll go with your AFC pick.
The Chargers. Okay. I think that the Chargers are absolutely going to take a step back this year. I think Justin Herbert's the most overrated quarterback in the NFL. I think people are way too hype on a guy who's been in the league for 4 or 5 years now, has never really produced anything other than just endless hype around him for reasons that people can't really quantify, or than he looks the part. They don't really have a great wide receiver outside of Ladd McConkey, who's coming into his second year. We don't really know if he's great yet or if he just had a splashy rookie season. Their defense has been suspect for years, and they've never really been able to get it turned around. Their offensive line wasn't good last year. They drafted that rookie Joe Alt. They're now having to move him to another position to move things around on that line. They don't have a good running back right now. They're hoping that this rookie Omari and Hampton's going to come in and save them, but he's a rookie. He's untested. We don't really know anything about them. I think the Raiders are going to take a step up this year. I think the Broncos are going to take a step up this year. And I think the Chiefs are still the Chiefs. So I think the Chargers will be 4th in that division. I got them out of the playoffs right now.
So, and CJ, we'll go to you with your AFC pick, and then you can rebuttal real quick on Alex's Steelers comments. So let's go with your AFC pick for your team that will be out this year. And then you can rebuttal on Alex.
Save the tears for later, dog.
Hey, yo. We not gonna fucking do that. Like, that's not what we like, first of all, I'm gonna come with my rebuttal first. I know you had nah. I get what you're saying, but I want to know, when you talk about the receiving core on the Steelers, I need to know who the number 1 and 2. I just need to know who the number 1 and 2 receivers are on the Raiders.
Brock Bowers and Josh.
Oh, is it the tight end?
And Amari Cooper?
Yeah, Bowers could be the number. He's definitely going to be the
Amari
number 1.
Cooper?
Oh, yeah.
Who was already on this?
Yeah, Cooper's
right,
back, too.
Listen. And then who's the running back? Ashton Jeanty?
Worry about your team. What do you got to say?
I will. Listen. Those words that you just used, worry about your team, son.
Answer the question.
The way you talk about, hey, all right.
I know
I feel like the Broncos are going to take a step up. I feel like the Broncos are going to take a step up. I hate to say it, but I got a little faith in the kid Bo Nix. I do. I watched this tape. The tape is good. From what I saw.
So wait, Siege, are you making your pick for? I just want to make sure the team that'll be out of the playoffs this year.
No,
are you starting with Broncos? They're going to be the team that's out that made the playoffs last year.
They made the playoffs last year.
Yes.
Pardon me.
So the team that I would say the team that we're in, we go with the AFC. We're the Bills, Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos,
the Bills
Ravens,
the Bills
Steelers.
Is not doing it this year.
You think the Bills aren't going to be in the playoffs this year?
So who's going to win? The Bills are going to be in the playoffs this year.
Who do you have winning the AFC East then? You have the Dolphins.
AFC?
The AFC East. You're picking the Dolphins or the Jets or the Patriots over the Bills today?
I got the Dolphins going.
Wow.
Listen.
Hot take. You heard it here first, guys. First episode, you heard it here first. CJ's picking Buffalo Bills out of the playoffs this year.
And I'm putting the Patriots in.
Okay.
I'm putting the Patriots in.
So Bills out, Dolphins in, Patriots in. Okay.
Yeah, because I thought the Broncos, that was my fault. I thought the Broncos didn't make it. The Broncos just barely made it last year. I do remember that. I do see the Patriots in because I have more faith in Drake May than I do in Bo Nix. But Bo Nix does give me a little. I watch tape, like I said. He does give me a little bit of faith in them, but their defense is more so powerhouse than their offense. So I'm not really gonna dig too much in that. But for the Patriots, I feel like Drake May is gonna sneak his way in there. Stephon Diggs just got over there in the offseason. Their running back room is a bit iffy, but the Patriots are they got Mike Vrabel. They got that guy over there now, Mike V. They got Mike V. They got Mikey V. So they might change up the way they play a little bit. But because we all know when Tom Brady was over there, it was running it down your throat as much as we can, and then toss it with Tommy. And then after he got sick, after he got hurt, and Mike Vick got over there, he was chucking it down the field, and he became the Brady we all know. But aside from that, the Patriots had a lock-in playbook. Now that Mike Vrabel's over there, it might change a little bit, but I feel like the Patriots are going to be in the playoffs this year. Like I said, the Bills are going to take a step back. The Bills do not have a number one receiver in my book.
They have the MVP, Josh Allen,
Yeah.
who's going to make everyone better around him.
And
didn't have a lot of receivers last year.
You lucky this podcast was in Rogan last year, because I would have told you that he won that by accident, because what the fuck are we doing? Because I mean,
Lamar
Josh Allen was good.
I'm part of the Lamar
Josh Allen was good. But for real, come the fuck on. We're not doing that. But at the same time, that's my picks. That's my picks.
Hot take from TJ to start. I'm gonna agree. Sorry, CJ, with Alex on this one. The other Alex. I'm saying Steelers out this year in the AFC. I'm sorry. I'm not. It's not just because it's not. I think the Steelers are gonna do well. But the thing is, I think Cincinnati had a very off year last year. We all know that. They kind of brought the core back. Their offense should be one of the best in the league. And I think they're going to be one of the weird teams that their offense is going to win games. When I know defense wins championships, they at least have Hendricks back. We'll see. But I think the Bengals are going to surprise a lot of people. I think they're going to knock the Steelers out and be the number one team.
With that offensive win games, then Joe Burrow should have been MVP last year. Which
he was
I agree.
There.
He was
there. He was there stat wise. It's just his defense was
trash. He should have been there. But yeah, his team was ass. So listen, until this defense gets better, which they took a step back in my opinion, and their offensive line didn't really get no better in my opinion, we'll see what's up. Y'all counting my Steelers out, but y'all count my Steelers out because we don't have a fucking good quarterback. Like, I'm not doing this.
All right. So with that, we'll go over to the NFC and talk about them. And it would be the NFC team last year that was out, or that was in the playoffs, that will be out. So Desmond, I'll let you start with this one. Which NFC team that was in the playoffs will be out this year?
Man, I was really going back and forth on this one. I think it might be the Buccaneers.
Oh, he took my pick. I agree.
I'm sorry. I think, well, the NFC South is kind of like the NFC East in a way where it feels like you have a different division winner every single year.
Yeah.
And with that also being said, it's just like, I don't really believe in what the Buccaneers have going on here. They lost Liam Cohen, their offensive coordinator last year, which helped Baker Mayfield have that all-star year. Mike Evans is perpetually hurt. It looks like he's not super healthy right now. Chris Godwin is not looking too great right now. They're kind of tagging their whole offense to Emeka Egbuka, which is a rookie. Doubtful. They're not really sure how great he's going to be. That defense took some losses, and I think sneaky person to sneak in there this year might be Atlanta. Atlanta might find a way to actually take the division back, because Carolina's garbage. I think the Saints are garbage, but I think that Atlanta can actually challenge the Bucks this year, and it wouldn't surprise me if a 10-7 Falcons beat out like a 9-8 Tampa Bay.
I like that, and the NFC was weird. Again, people forget Falcons were in contention. They were in contention most of the year, and then they made the quarterback change, and they kind of lost it down late. So I do like the Falcons pick over the Bucks. CJ, I know you're gonna agree with Desmond. So why do you think the Bucks are going to be the team that's out?
Well, I'm a hater. I hate Baker Mayfield. That's just that. But outside of that, it's been mostly because that division's been mediocre. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel out of all the teams in that division, Atlanta made the biggest push forward. I think Michael Penix is starting, correct?
Yes, he'll be the full-time
Michael
starter.
Penix is starting. Bijan is really good. I'm expecting him to make a push for the season. And outside of that, they've always had kind of like a middle of the pack offense, a middle of the pack defense. Their offense needs a couple more players, but Drake London is a beast. I'm gonna give him that. Drake London's a beast.
Yeah.
So Bijan, Drake London, maybe someone else on that offense makes a breakout. But I'm pretty.
Kyle Pitts for the 5th straight year.
Don't say that.
No. Kyle Pitts is like the Cowboys saying that it's their year.
Yeah,
so
that's true. Very true.
But I agree 100% with Des. Bucks and Atlanta,
like that. I
because
like that.
that's the weakest division in the NFC.
Bucks out Atlanta, and we got two people. Are we going trifecta, Alex?
Well, a team that was in the playoffs last year that I think is out. I thought this was actually a very easy one. I'm taking the Vikings on this one.
Ooh.
I think
I am too.
Yeah. I could kind of see a mile away. We know that NFC North is stacked. It's loaded. They're going to have those midseason brawls in the division. I think they lost a lot of pieces in the offseason. I think they're really weak at offensive tackle. I don't trust what's behind McCarthy. He hasn't had the snaps yet. And I think that they were exposed as a wild card, falling flat on their face in the first round. And I think that that's gonna continue to pour over into this next season. They really didn't blow you off the stat sheet once they got into the playoffs as well. And I think that when you look at the out of conference schedule that they have too, it's just one of those teams that goes from 14 wins back to 8-8, 8-9. I just think that that's their territory. That's their ceiling right now.
Yeah, and the two Alexes agree here, and I'm speaking for myself in that weird third person. But yes, I also agree it's the Minnesota Vikings. I think they're going to be a decent team and a fun team to watch this year. I like JJ McCarthy a lot. I know there's a lot of hype around him. Obviously, I love Justin Jefferson. I think he's the best wide receiver in football. But I agree with you. I think they lost a lot in the offensive line. I think their defense is still going to be really, really solid, and they're going to sneak wins. But I think they're just going to be one of those teams that just misses the playoffs. Like, I think they're fighting all year, but then they have one of those late end of season games that matters and they fumble it or something weird happens. So yeah, my pick for NFC to miss the playoffs is going to be unfortunately the Minnesota Vikings. I know we're going against the grain with a lot of people with that. A lot of people think the Vikings are a Super Bowl contending team. But that, we're going to move over now to the next topic, which we talked a little bit, and I'm doubling down to AFC. I think a lot of people might have figured that out. But that is the one team that was out of the playoffs that will be in this year. Desmond, let's start off with you. What AFC team that was out of the playoffs is going to be their way in this year?
You know what? I hate saying this because it feels like a cop out, and I don't want to really go cop out territory, but I really do think the Bengals are going to get in this.
Join me.
Desmond. I know, because like basically I've heard a lot of people say this, like, oh well, the Bengals have to just basically score even more points than last year because their defense didn't get any better, and I think that that's true, but I think also the right defensive coordinator can scheme around a bad defense. I think that, for instance, I think the Eagles didn't have the greatest defense in the world a couple of years ago. We went to the Super Bowl the first time against the Chiefs, but we were able to kind of put a scheme together that made it seem like they were kind of better than they actually were, and they got exposed in that Super Bowl. I think that the right defensive coordinator, because they moved on from Lou Anarumo, and if you just do a few things differently, Joe Burrow is going to put up 30 points a game with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Chase Brown is underrated as a running back. So, yeah, I think Bengals can sneak in, winning one or two more games than they did last year. They can take in that last spot. No one's going to want to see them in the first round.
Absolutely not. And again, I'll just double down on this and we'll bounce to CJ. I agree. It's the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm doubling down. Just think same thing as you, Desmond. Their offense is just explosive. I think Chase Brown is one of the most underrated players. I think he's a player to watch in fantasy, betting, everything you want. He's the guy to look out for. But again, you have Jamar Chase, one of the best receivers. You had T. Higgins, one of the best number two. Mike Gesicki had a sneaky year last year. I don't know if his contract's worth it, but again, he had a really solid year. And then you just hope, the pass rush is there. They have Hendrickson back. They have the whole crew back. Locker rooms all put together. So I think they're going to win maybe 2 or 3 more games than last year and get into the playoffs. But CJ, what was the AFC team that was out of the playoffs that will be in this year? Who's your pick?
As much as I hate to say it, the Bengals.
Everyone's joining me. Yes.
Did not know I stole your pick, but
that's all. That's all? Siege. It's the Bengals. I had to get there.
Chase Brown is sneakily underrated.
Yeah,
Chase Brown is sneakily underrated. Somebody is gonna get snubbed from the AFC. I already gave my snub pick. But I do definitely feel like the AFC North is way too overpowered for the Bengals not to make it. The Ravens are a lock. You guys do not have faith in my Steelers, but get over it. They're gonna make it in.
I feel good about it too.
I didn't say
Yeah.
anything about the Steelers.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen. There was one year not that long ago where all 4 AFC North teams made it. Listen, you got to understand the AFC North is just the most overpowered AFC team in the league, AFC division in the league. We're going to keep it that way.
Other than the Cleveland Browns, even though they will play team stuff, but their offense
They're
is
good
not going to be there.
defensively, but their
Their
offense is
offense
just
is going
trash.
to be
Like,
atrocious.
look, it's just it is what it is. But they had Kenny Pickett at one point. Yeah, okay.
Raiders.
Kenny Pickett to now Alex's favorite team, the Raiders.
What else
And
you
he
want?
thinks that. Okay, listen. Worry about your team. Worry about your team. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's the Bengals. I feel like the Bengals will make it.
Solid. And Alex,
Yeah,
are you being a homer here, or are you switching it up?
Unfortunately, on paper, we were the same. But for the sake of parity, I'm going to go Miami here just to kind of change it up. I think that AFC East is wide open below Buffalo. I didn't do my homework on them, but I know that they've had a lot of off-season acquisitions, and I do like McDaniels. I do have faith in him as a coach. I think that with a favorable schedule, I think that they can go places. I just think that they need to keep Tua upright. They need to clean up that offensive line, and they need to protect them, all the most basic stuff. But if I had to give an opposing pick to Cincinnati, who was my pick, I would have to give you Miami.
I love it. I like it.
But you guys really think that Buffalo will make it? Like,
Yeah.
who they got?
You're the only person who thinks
You're the
Buffalo
only
won't
person
make it.
probably as an NFL fan
America.
that
Who do you
does
got to throw
not
the
think
ball
that
to?
Buffalo's going to
It's
make
as
the
guaranteed as death and taxes, dog.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Okay,
Bills had the
okay,
same offense
okay.
last year, and they were the number 2 team in the AFC.
Barring a crazy injury,
we'll find
Buffalo
out.
is locking that thing in
We'll
by
see.
week 7.
Yeah.
But all right, with that, I know we first episode, we need a first hot take. We got it already. But with that, we're talking a lot of teams. So let's just now go into this conversation real quick, and then we're going to go into awards. But real quick, everyone, I want to go around the horn. Who is your team to watch that you're not affiliated with, or you can be affiliated with? Doesn't matter. But who is your team to watch? You know, this year it could be a dark horse. It could be any other reason. Who's your team to watch? And CJ, I'll let you kick this one off. Who's your team to watch this year?
Pass.
Nah, you don't. Oh, you want to come in
Pass.
later? Okay, going to Alex this time. Alex, over. Who's your team to watch?
My team to watch, not because they were not on the radar last year, but because I want to see what their eventual ceiling this year is going to be the Rams. I think that they were really knocking at the door last year with Philadelphia. I think that they're not getting any love. Everybody's fallen in love with Washington, rightfully so. People are, liking what's going on with Green Bay, especially with Micah Parsons being added to the mix. But I wouldn't sleep on what Sean McVay and the Rams have going there. They have a solid core. I think that they got the most bang for their buck bringing in Devontae Adams, and now Puka Nacua in a contract year. He's going to be twice as motivated to get as many touches as possible. So one of those two is going to be eating the entire game. I think shedding the Cooper Kupp contract was smart. I like what they have on their front four on the defensive side of the ball, and if they can keep it balanced, control the pace of the game, I think that they're going to take that division, and I think that the sky's the limit. I think they could be there right at the end of the year with Philadelphia. So
I like that pick a lot. I know a lot of people are questioning Matthew Stafford and his back injury, but I think the Rams are definitely an intriguing team. Desmond, I'll go to you. Who is your team to watch this year?
You know what? The dark horse feels weird because it's kind of like a bad team that's now okay, or is it an okay team that's now great, or how to put it. But I'll just say that for me, I'm gonna pick the Texans. I think that the AFC, there's actually, if you look at like the Ravens, the Bills, the Bengals, like all the teams that are kind of like below the Chiefs, I think that you put the Texans in a winner-take-all game against any of them, they have a better defense than all of those teams. I'm including the Ravens here. And I think that CJ Stroud, while he had a bad year last year, if that O-line can figure its thing out before the year's over, I think Nico Collins, that new kid that got Jaden Higgins, I think Nick Chubb's gonna be better than people think he's gonna be. I think the Texans could probably surprise some people this season. So I think that they easily win that division. They'll get to the playoffs, and I like their chances in a one-game setting against any other AFC like top tier team.
I like that pick a lot, Desmond. CJ Stroud had a little bit of a sophomore slump, if you will. I'm not expecting that this year. I think he's going to take a step in the right direction. So, CJ, got to come to you, and then I'll go with my pick. But CJ, who's your team to watch?
They would have been my pick for NFC make it to the playoffs, but I'm still not sure on them. But just keep an eye on them. The Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
Yes. They just got Josh Sweat. in the offseason.
Yeah.
They bolstered their defense. Their offense wasn't bad. They beat San Fran. They beat a lot of teams last year that people thought, yeah, you know what, Arizona gonna get scraped to this one. They didn't. Trey McBride looking real good. James Conner has been reviving his career since he left the Steelers. Marvin Harrison needs to take that step up. But outside of that, I think Arizona had a really decent offseason. I don't want to say good yet, but we'll see how it goes. But Arizona's my sleeper.
I like that pick a lot. Desmond, do you want to say one?
I mean, Arizona should be in the conversation every year.
They
They really should be.
You don't think they could take like 9-10 wins this year? Come
No,
on.
I mean, like it's literally all on Kyler Murray. Like this should be a make or break a year for him. Like I think like if he doesn't do well this year, I think Arizona should move on from him.
You might have to start.
They would have to rebuild
option.
because he's good. I mean, like
heavy.
there's no reason why he shouldn't be able to put it all together. The fact that he hasn't is kind of an indictment on him as far as I'm concerned. If he puts it together this year, the Arizona should make a deep run into the playoffs. They should. They have a good team.
And if they flop, it's a quarterback heavy draft.
Yeah. Either he produces or it's time to move on from Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I think
that's on God.
That's a player that a lot of people are keeping eyes on in a conversation that I'm going to have. That's going to be my player in the next topic. But sticking with the NFC West, I'm actually picking the Seattle Seahawks as my team to watch. I really want to see. Okay. I'm intrigued to see what Sam Darnold is like away from Minnesota. Is it a him thing? Was it great coaching that got him there, or are we going to see the Sam Darnold in that context?
I believe that it was great coaching, but you got to look at where Sam Darnold was before. It was the fucking Jets.
Yeah,
come on,
the Jets and the Panthers, and we saw what that Sam Darnold was, and then we see him in Minnesota with great coaching, and then now he's away from that great coaching. So that's why I'm intrigued to watch the Seahawks. Again, they brought a veteran, Cooper Kupp. We'll see. He's old, but supposedly him and Darnold are developing a nice connection. They have nice offensive weapons. Jack Smith-Chigba, I think, is going to make a big year. They have a good running game. Their defense, like I said, they have some pieces. They brought in, DeMarcus Lawrence from Dallas. I think he could be a sneaky good pickup for them. Leonard Williams had a decent second half. I really like the Seahawks, but again, it really is going to be intriguing to see what happens with Sam Darnold. But CJ,
don't let Sam Darnold take away. Don't let Sam Darnold take away from that defense. That Vikings defense was on point.
Oh yeah,
top 5.
Yeah. And like I said, I think that's why a lot of people like the Vikings this year in general. When we have the conversation of them missing the playoffs, I think a lot of people like their defense. They think of J.J. McCarthy could just be a game manager and not turn the ball over. Their team can make the playoffs, but the people think otherwise. But again, I am intrigued with Seattle. Like I said, just to see if we're going to see another Matt Flynn-esque contract in Seattle where it doesn't look great because Sam Darnold's away from good coaching, but. That's my pick for my team to watch. Now, we're going to go with some individual awards, starting off here with our bust player of the year. A little bit of a negative conversation, but our bust player of the year, a player that's getting hyped up, a player that's been successful throughout the career, that's going to tank this year. That's kind of our conversation of bust. And with that, I'll go with CJ. Who's your bust player of the year this year?
Ashton Genty.
Oh, come on.
As a rookie with the hype? Okay.
You can't bust as a rookie. Somebody who's been,
You can be a bust as a rookie.
He's just coming from
it's literally in the name. It's literally in the name. Like, come on, like we're not doing
that. He has a lot of hype. He has fantasy and otherwise a lot of hype around him as maybe the savior of the Raiders on the offensive end.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You want to go.
I'm fine with you saying that a rookie can be a bust. Again, a rookie can be a bust. Cheap, but... It's a cheap pick, but a rookie can be a bust. But CJ, do you have another player or
he said it's Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. That Cowboy system let him thrive. Will he be able to thrive in the Green Bay system? And that's the real question. And all systems are different, and you can't say they're the same. Dan Quinn runs a different system than everyone else does. You know what I'm saying? So that's why Frankie Louvu can get off the way he does. You know what I'm saying? So can Micah Parsons get off that same way in the Green Bay system?
He's an
That's the
intriguing
real
player.
question.
I know the injury factor too, with now the back injury report that's
And
coming up.
he's had
Could hold
injuries.
him back, and he's had injuries, but that back injury could hold him back a little bit too. Not no, no pun intended there. But Micah Parsons is an intriguing pick. But Desmond, who's your bust player?
Um, Just really quickly, I was actually kind of wondering about Micah Parsons myself. I was wondering
Mhm.
what it would be like for him to play 8 games a year outside versus the 8 games a year in a
Inside, yeah.
dome, because he's so reliant on
Exactly.
his speed and his get
Yeah.
off. But my player here is Trevor Lawrence.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, but
Okay.
I feel like
Another
he's always
quarterback
busting or
who
pulling.
has way too much hype around him, who, was anointed essentially from his college days, who looked great coming out of college, has not done anything since he's gotten to the NFL. A lot of people will talk about, oh, he's had bad teams around him. He hasn't looked, spare meal and all that one. You see the people that Josh Allen throws it to every single week. I don't want to hear about supporting
But
cast or how bad your team might be. I think Trevor Lawrence, he's just like he's in the same place Kyler Murray is in, as far as I'm concerned. Either
but hold
you
on.
make something this year or you got to kind of get out of there. I think that
But,
he is actually going to flop. I think that Jacksonville will have to start thinking about other quarterback options going into next
but
year.
hold on.
I
But
like
hold
Trevor
on.
Lawrence.
Hold on.
I
If we're
like it.
gonna knock my pick, I gotta knock yours because Trevor
Yeah.
Lawrence has been on a downward spiral since his first year, if you ask me.
But again,
Or
he
is it
has
his
he
second
has
year?
hype this
Was it
year.
second year?
He had a good rookie year, but he has hype this year with the new coach. I agree with Desmond. He has the hype around him
Yeah.
with the new
How many new
coach.
coaches has he had?
Yeah, I mean, there's that. But I
Doug
mean,
Peterson was there for a while.
but the new coach that had him
And before
resurrected
that, it
Baker
was who?
Mayfield. He resurrected. I know you're a hater of Baker Mayfield, but he did resurrect
No,
Baker
Liam
Mayfield
Cohen
from.
is definitely
Yeah,
has a pedigree behind him now. But yeah, he
Who's the
had
guy
Urban
before
Meyer
that? Who's the guy
for
before
10
that? Urban
months.
Myers? It was
For
Urban
10
Uzer
years.
Myers?
Meyer, Doug
Yeah,
Peterson.
okay.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I do like the Trevor Lawrence. I know there's people think he's gonna have a bounce back year with the new coach. I don't necessarily. I think Jacksonville
I
still is
don't.
a few pieces away from being good, and they might have to
No,
talk
no, I
about a
don't think they're.
conversation because he's getting paid a decent amount of money too. But
Their
Alex,
defense is good. Their offense is garbage.
yeah, that's true. Alex, who's your bust player?
Compared to last year, I'm gonna go with James Cook up in Buffalo.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
I think there's been I mean, I interpreted this question a little differently, but
Mm-hmm.
just going off of some of Hard Knocks and some of the offseason
Mm-hmm.
rumors and whatnot. I know there's
Yeah.
been some stalwart with the contract negotiations. I think that his head is other places. I think that he understands the value that he brings to the team, but I think the team is just more dependent on Josh. And I think that they're moving away towards a pass first offense. And I think that they have a lot of key slot pieces that really pick up some of that short gain yardage. And I think that they're going to be moving away from the run a little bit. I don't think he's going to be getting those big bursts, those big open holes with the way they structure that offense this year. So I'm going to go with James Cook.
I like
Gonna hurt
that pick.
it's gonna hurt my fantasy team a little bit because I picked him in
know.
2 weeks. But I do like that pick of James Cook. I agree with what you had to say, Alex. There, I think their offense is changing a little bit, and
It's
I
the
don't think he's
biggest
gonna get those
reason
short
why I think that
yardage.
they're falling.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Again, the hot takes. As long as you have reasons behind it, I can't argue with it. My player, we just talked about him. Well, it is Kenneth. It's Kenny Murray. I think it's just every year they have a chance to do something, and either he's distracted by playing Call of Duty or whatever you do. His head's just not in the game, and something comes out and he flubs or whatever. And it's a make or break year. There's a lot of pressure on him. Again, I picked him in fantasy in one of my leagues. I don't know why I did it. I picked him as my bust player. We'll see. Maybe he proves me wrong. But right
Yeah.
now, I just think what we talked about earlier in this episode is that every single time he sees that opportunity, he either falters or something happens. And I think that's, again, unfortunately what's going to happen this year with the Cardinals, unless I'm proven otherwise. And we'll just have to see what they decide to do with this quarterback heavy draft ahead. But with that, go away from the negativity. We're going to talk about players a little under the radar that are going to have a breakout year. So your breakout player, Alex, who's your pick? You had a good pick for your bust. Who's your breakout?
I'm gonna pay a little attribution back to CJ for kicking him in the dick earlier. I'm going with Roman Wilson,
There we go.
receiver,
That
his
is
second year.
good one. Good one.
I think that DK is going to get blanketed on a lot of possessions this year. I think that they have to have a guy that steps up, and they have a notorious history of just nailing receivers in the draft. So I really like the opportunity that this kid's got at his hands. So I think that he's going to get a lot of opportunities as long as he's got a quarterback upright thrown to him. I think that he's got potential to really open up and break out this year.
I like that. I do. I mean, I know he was banged up last year, like I said. That again could be scaled up because we didn't really see him a lot last year, but it is a solid pick. Desmond, who's your breakout player?
Man, I was having a tough one with. I actually had two people, and I couldn't really pick between them. So I'm just gonna go with the one though. Oh wait, no, we're doing a fantasy portion recently. I'll save the other one for that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Emeka Ibuka, actually.
Okay.
I think what I was saying earlier about the Bucks, I do think that they're going to miss the playoffs, but I do think that in the meantime, Chris Godwin is really hurt. Like
Mhm.
this man will probably not see the field until October, and then we don't know what he's going to look like. He's coming off like a damaged knee. I don't know if I forget if it was ACL, MCL. Mike Evans has been missing time over the last few years. He's getting older and older now. I do think that the Buccaneers are going to take a step back, but I don't think it's going to be like a huge step back. I think we're talking like 1 or 2 games, which might end up having them miss the playoffs. But Emeka Ibuka might end up being the #1 target in this offense throughout the entire season. And from everything that we've been hearing through like Buccaneers camp, they love this kid. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be able to take over as like a top 10 receiver as his rookie year, but it sounds like he's going to be really good. And so I think that he's going to make a name for himself this year, and people are going to really know who he is by the time the season's over.
It's a great pick.
That is a really strong pick. CJ, who's
And it's
yours?
gonna go into my this one's gonna go into my AFC team who didn't make it, that's gonna make it this year. Chris Gonzalez.
Ooh, like that's a not a lot of people pick defense, so I respect that
I
pick.
think
Okay.
I think that he's like a step short of being one of the better DBs in the league. And honestly, not even a step short. I think he is one of the better DBs in the league. I just think that he's young and he lacks experience. After he gets the experience he needs, I feel, yo, wait till halfway in the season. We're gonna be talking about Chris Gonzalez, and we're gonna be talking about the Patriots. I really feel like he's one of those players that shift the tide for them. You know what I'm saying? Like he's one of those game changers. It's like, all right, cool. Like he's a Kyle Hamilton for them. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's what I feel. Chris Gonzalez, he's gonna make that. I feel like he's already good, but I feel like he's gonna make that next step.
I mean, the defenses were always good down in Tennessee for Vrabel, so
Yeah, and if we're gonna give it two players, like one offense, one defense, this one's scary, and I hate to say it, but Bryce Young.
That's not an awful take. A lot of people like the second half he had in Carolina after he
I
came
did
back from
too.
being
I
benched.
did, but a big part of that was Adam Thielen, and he lost Adam Thielen.
Yeah, he did lose Adam Thielen. But again, he has a new and rejuvenated older Hunter Renfrow to potentially throw to this year, so we'll see about that. But who knows? I don't think Bryce Young's an awful pull. I think a lot of people are looking at him in the second half and seeing if he can continue it.
He was this close to being my pick for NFC. The Panthers were this close, but they need because Chuba Hubbard. I'm not gonna fucking hold you. Chuba's nice.
Yeah, Chuba. I like Chuba, but
he's a Chase Brown. He's sneaky.
My breakout player is again another second year. I'm going Roma Dunze, the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
I know there's eyes on him.
Good. That's a good pick. That's a really good pick.
I think a lot of people thought his rookie year was a little disappointing, as well as Caleb Williams. They get a new coach in Ben Johnson, who a lot of people obviously not have to run through his pedigree. I think a lot of people are looking at him as a wide receiver to watch, and that's why I think he's going to be my breakout. Like I said, I like his size, I like his profile. I think he showed some flashes in the moments he got the ball actually in Chicago last year. I know they had a lot of issues with that. And like I said, with the new head coach, I think he's going to be a focal point of their offense. So give me Roma Dunze to be your breakout player this season. So with that.
But let's talk about it. I'm sorry, Al.
You're good.
Let's talk about it. Chicago is a shitty franchise. So
they are. They're one of them. But again, like I said, culture change. We talked about culture change before.
Yeah.
New head coach.
And Caleb Williams was this close to making my breakout players. This close. But then they got rid of Keenan Allen. I feel like they need more veterans on that team. But they like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's still pieces that can make that team flow. But I feel like it's a front office thing with the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, and we'll see again. They're in a very tough division. A lot of young talent on that team, and I think they're a team to look as a team to step forward, right? To watch,
Yeah.
like I said, there could be a pick for a team to watch as well. Take that step right forward. If not, I think there's going to be a lot of questions, and I think the front office is going to get blamed more than
For sure.
their new head coach. I think
That
eyes
it's
will go to the
literally,
front office this time around.
but they're gonna
Yeah.
penalize the head coach.
Yeah,
But they're gonna
they might,
penalize
but
the
with
head
the new
coach.
head coach again, he's in a new system, new personnel, first year head coach. I don't think they're going to end up firing him. I think a lot of people would look at the GM for putting that roster together, and if it's a disappointing year, I think more eyes go to the front office. But with that, we're going to go quickly, kind of through the major awards
Yeah.
first, and then we're going to go with some way too early Final Four and Super Bowl predictions. Maybe talk a little betting, but first, let's go with the major awards. We'll start off here. I know my list is a little backwards, but we're going to start with Offensive Rookie of the Year. We'll go
Okay.
Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and MVP. That's going to be our four that we're going to talk about on this podcast. So first, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Alex, who's your Offensive Rookie this season?
It's easy, baby. It's Janty all day. You just teed it up on a silver platter, my friend. Thank you. No, I mean, I was so big on him. I was advocating for him to win the Heisman all last year, so I'm really excited to see him play. I saw some glimpses of brilliance in the preseason on the few tracks that they had in terms of the possessions that they had. I think that he is a downhill bully back. I think that he's still elusive where he can get to the outside as well. So he has multiple gears to the way he runs. And I think that offensive line is cleaned up enough to allow him to get on a break when needs be. But if they're a pass first offense, he's still going to get those touches. He can dink and dunk. He'll be there receiving balls as well. So I'm just really excited to see him play, and I think that he's going to have a great year ahead of him.
Like it, like it. Desmond, who's your Offensive Rookie of the Year?
I'm going to keep it real short because I already kind of talked about this guy, but Emeka Egbuka again.
Mhm.
You know, it'd be hard for me to take him as my breakout player of the year, and I'll turn around and say that he would make Offensive Rookie of the Year. So, I mean, same things I was saying before. The offense is kind of really geared towards him. I think that he is going to end up probably being the number one in this offense at certain points in this season. Yeah, I really look for him to have a big year this year.
Like it, like it. CJ, who's your pick for Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Hey, I'm like Alex with this. Caleb Johnson. I feel by the end of the year he will be the starting quarterback for the running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I saw good flashes. I see flashes of Le'Veon Bell, not the crazy side, but the skill side.
I hope not. I hope not.
So I see patience in the route running. You know what I'm saying? Following the blocks. From what you can't really judge the preseason. Everyone isn't there, but from what I did see in the preseason, I do think that Caleb Johnson at one point will be the starter. That does put Kenneth Gainwell to the backseat, and that does say that he'll start over Jalen Warren. But I do feel like he's that kind of talent. So, Caleb Johnson.
I like that pick. Sneaky
Okay.
one. People are not. I was going to be a homer here if Jackson Dart ended up being the starting quarterback by the end of the preseason,
I
but he's
wouldn't mind
not.
that either.
But he's not until an injury potentially happens. But I'm not wishing an injury for my team. I want a good year. I'm going to actually go with Omarion Hampton. And I know Desmond was like he's going to be the savior. And I think he will. I just think with that offensive scheme, I think he's going to be a fun and exciting player. They're going to run the ball a lot. It takes the pressure off of Justin Herbert. So I think by the end of the year, he's going to have some good stats. He's a strong runner, powerful runner. I really like his build. So I'm going to pick him, Mary Hampton, to be my Offensive Rookie of the Year. With that, we will switch over to Defensive Rookie of the Year. So CJ, you have your hand up. I want you to go first for your Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Travis Hunter.
Okay.
I feel like he's not going to excel as much as he thought he would on offense, but defense is where he's going to shine, especially in the NFL. So Travis Hunter,
I like that. More corner than wide receiver. I like
definitely.
that a lot.
A
Alex,
lot of. I'm sorry, real quick. A
yeah.
lot of like people who started off as wide receivers in their younger careers transition better off in in cornerbacks when they get up there, like college and NFL. So that's the reason behind my choice.
I like Hunter. I think their defense needs some help in Jacksonville, so I think they want him to be more on the defensive side of the ball than they do offensive, and I think they're going to use him more kind of that gadget player on offense, but we'll see. He's definitely an intriguing player to watch. Alex, who's your defensive rookie of the year?
For me, it's pretty easy. It's Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
Really excited to see him
Damn
play.
you.
I
Solid
love
pick.
that. Yeah.
Damn you.
Solid pick.
I love the fit. Letting him sit behind some seasoned vets on that front four. I think that he's going to have some freedom to really get home. He's going to have some crevices to kind of get into. I do like their schedule and where they're at. Kind of across the rest of the NFC, opposed to the division itself. But I think this kid's a stud, and if he can keep his weight down, he can stay healthy. I think the sky's the limit.
Love that. Again, I'll go because I think people know I'm a Giants fan, so I think a lot of people thought it was obvious for me. Yeah, I'm going Abdul Carter, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Same reasons that other Alex has stated. And I think in that defensive scheme, they're just going to have him every which way, running on all the different positions and wreaking havoc. So it's going to be very fun to watch. He looked pretty good in preseason. I know they gave him limited reps there, but you can't double team everyone in the NFL, and the Giants already have 3 pretty good pass rushers and an all-pro defensive tackle. So with that, yeah, it's pretty obvious. I'm going Abdul Carter, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Desmond, who's your pick?
Little under the radar here, but I'm kind of leaning towards Malachi Starks. Safety for the Ravens. I think that they kind of just had one missing piece back there.
So
Malachi Starks was really good last year in college. I mean, he was how he felt at the end of the first round is actually kind of a little beyond me. But Ravens got a steal, but not really surprising that that team always drafts really well. So yeah, no, I think that when we think about like kind of the pressure that the Ravens are going to get, it's going to create a lot of opportunities for the Ravens like secondary. They already have a bunch of beasts back there. Jair Alexander's back there already. So yeah, I like Malachi Starks to kind of get some really easy deflections. Maybe create a couple of turnovers. I like him back there this year.
Like that. Yeah, that's a sneaky good one. Yeah, again, all good picks, right? I went around. I feel like we would talk a lot of football.
That was the hardest one for me, honestly.
That was a hard pick. I think to go deep dive did not go the obvious. I think a lot of us went with the obvious, but with that, we will go. I realize I forgot a major award, so I'll make everyone quickly go around the horn. Offensive player of the year. I know we had defensive, but we'll do offensive and defensive. I can go first, kicking off, I guess, with this one.
Yeah.
For offensive player of the year. I think it's going to be a little obvious, but I'm going Jamar Chase. I think he's just going to have another unbelievable year. I know people think the obvious would be Saquon and the stuff he did last year, and he could build up on what he did last year. But I think Jamar Chase is a player to definitely keep an eye on, and I think, the Bengals, like I said, are going to be one of the first teams that is going to be an offensive team wins over a defensive team. So he's going to get a lot of opportunities. So I'm going offensive player of the year. I'm going Jamar Chase. That's my guy. I'm going with that pick. Anyone, CJ, who wants?
I'll be brief. I'll be brief on this because I think mine's pretty blatant too. Offensive player of the year, I'm going Josh Allen. I think it's a toss up whether you're going to give him the MVP or the offensive player of the year. But I just think that system is tailor made for him to be all in. Whether he's going to be breaking his touchdown, rushing record again or something like that. I think that he's got a lot of great weapons that are now second, third, fourth years in that system. Key pieces playing pivotal roles that have had crucial, time, in pressure situations where they're going to come up big, and they're just like the king of chunk plays, big chunk plays. So it's going to be stat stuffing, and they're going to have a great year. He's going to load it up.
I got Derrick Henry.
Ooh,
I got Derrick Henry because they never give the MVP to a running back, and so you almost have like whoever the best running back in the league gets like offensive player of the year as like a consolation prize, right? I think Derrick Henry will be the best running back in the league this year. I think the Ravens are going to be great this year, so I like Derrick Henry's second year in this offense. I feel like because of how teams have to guard Lamar, Derrick Henry's going to have another big year like he had last year. Give me him for offensive player of the year.
I like that. That's a strong one. CJ, who's your offensive player of the year?
I don't have one.
You don't have one?
I do not. I know. Shocking take, crazy work. I do not have one.
Pick a name, any name.
Pick a name.
Aaron Rodgers. Any name? I don't know. All right,
DK Metcalf? I'll just release Steelers offense. Pat Fryermuth? I don't know.
I got one. He gets shafted every year. He works harder than any player. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
That's
Oh,
okay.
yes.
I like that. I
Yes.
do like that. I feel like he's a player that is definitely
Like
disrespected.
Yeah.
what? Greatly disrespected.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a
Yeah.
player that should be in the 99 club in Madden. Like
Yeah.
that Lions offense couldn't transition without him. Couldn't function
No,
without him.
no, they couldn't.
I
What
like
are we
that.
talking about? Like Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Like it. I like it. Strong picks from everyone, and then like I said, we're gonna pick up a little bit of the pace here because we got a couple little topics here, and we're trying to
Yep.
not go too long on our first episode. So we'll go real quick. Defensive player of the year. I'll kick us off for this one, and then
I'll
I'll
go
go
second.
around the horn. Again, I'll go first because I feel like whip around. I'm going Aiden Hutchinson from the Detroit Lions as my defensive player of the year. Can bounce back from injury. I think a lot of people have loved what they've seen from him out of camp this year. I think he's just an absolute wrecking ball as a player. We saw that before the injury, and I think the Lions really, really missed him down the stretch. I know that you got a lot of defensive injuries, like an absurd amount of injuries down the stretch last year for them on the defensive side of the ball. But I think they really missed Aiden Hutchinson, and having him back, he looks great. I'm going with him. I think he's going to have a monster season for the Detroit Lions. So I'm going Aiden Hutchinson, Defensive Player of the Year. Desmond, who do you have?
Oh, CJ, didn't you want to go second?
Oh, CJ, sorry.
I
Oh,
did.
yeah, your
I
hands
did
up.
want to go.
Sorry.
I did.
Sorry. You forgot the hand
I'll
raise.
I'll keep it
Bad
brief.
hosting by me.
Brief.
I'm getting used to hosting. CJ, sorry. Sorry, hand
my
raise.
bad.
CJ,
I'll
you
keep
go.
it. Hey,
You're good.
look, I'll keep it brief. I'll keep it brief. I agree with you. Aiden Hutchinson was powerful. A lot of great players on there. I would go with Kirby Joseph, but I'm gonna go with TJ Watt.
Dan Homer.
I'm gonna go with TJ Watt.
Not a bad pick.
Okay. I feel like defense took a big step back last year. It won't be the same this year. A lot of injuries held us back. Depth chart held us back. TJ Watt's gonna be up there. He needs a good Alex Highsmith being hurt really hurt him in a way, and that affects the whole Myles Garrett's better conversation. I don't give a fuck. TJ Watt, all right, that's my pick.
Like
no
it.
one's got
Not
more.
bad.
No one's got more forced fumbles. So TJ Watt.
I like TJ Watt. Pick Watt. The Watt name is always feel like if they have kids, we're screwed. We're never gonna have the never-ending Watt family. I feel in the NFL at this rate. Desmond, who's your pick? Sorry, go
Man, I should have went. I should have went before. I was gonna say TJ Watt. I'm gonna pivot here because I think there's this other kind of. I think it'll be a pass rusher, and I think there's other people who are probably going to be close to TJ Watt this year. So I'm gonna go with Nick Bosa. See the 49ers kind of make like a little bit of a step back this year. I mean, the man is actually like truly unguardable on the defensive line. We talk about Myles Garrett, we talk about TJ Watt. But I mean, when you watch the Nick Bosa tape, I mean, offensive linemen cannot handle this dude. He is really fast. He's incredibly strong. I mean, I think that he is going to absolutely destroy a lot of these like weaker NFC offenses this year. And I think he's going to be able to feast as the 49ers kind of like bounce back a little bit.
Wait. Zach Allen.
What about him?
It's a better name than Nick Bosa, if you ask me.
I mean, Allen or Bosa, I don't know.
Zach
I mean, he did a
Allen,
good year.
the Broncos, Zach Allen.
Yeah, no, he had a good year, lad. But I with Desmond's take, I think Bosa could be a guy that is the player to definitely.
I'm done on the Bosas, but yeah, okay.
Some people are. Desmond's not. I agree with Desmond. I think Bosa is
I'm not done with
Nick
Nick Bosa. I mean, I don't like Nick Bosa. I actually think he's an asshole.
Yeah, I think he's a
I
little.
don't like Joey. I don't like Joey. I think Joey's got tired.
But yeah, Bosa's a little problem. Off the field, on the field, they're pretty good at their jobs. So with that, Alex, who's your pick for Defensive Player of the Year?
No, I mean, Nick Bosa was a great pick because I had him actually as the MVP 2 years ago. And I think that he was having a 15.5-year sack.
Yeah, he had a good lead.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Yep. Yeah. So that was kudos to that, to Desmond. I'm gonna go with Old Reliable. I'm sticking with Myles Garrett. I think that
my God.
if you just look at
he's the only player in Cleveland. Sorry.
That's the thing is they're so dependent on him to keep teams under 40 points, scoring on them, running train on them that
he's train is crazy.
Yeah. But I think like when we're just looking at brass tacks, player differential plus minus on the field, I think he's like the king of that stat, and I think that he's a wrecking ball. He's in peak shape. He runs through 2-3 guys at a time. He's got to be my pick for defensive player of the year.
I like it.
Okay,
like
and
it.
if I gotta go with what he's saying, right, and pick a defensive player with what he's saying, Quentin Williams. But that's just it.
The player to watch
Yeah.
as well. I like it. But with
No
that,
one's seen more triple teams.
with that, I'm just gonna skip through the final four. We go to the final four, but I know we're having some time, so I want us to go right into way too early Super Bowl picks.
Okay.
That as the season goes on, we can go with our final fours. Maybe at the midway season point we'll do that. But right now,
I'll take that one.
I want Super Bowl picks. So
Okay.
DJ, it seems like you're vying to go first for this one. Who is your two teams that will make it to the Super Bowl?
Steelers Rams.
Steelers Rams as your two.
Steelers Rams.
I thought you were gonna say something like I thought you were gonna go like Patriots, like I thought, but Steelers Rams.
Do you want me to give you why?
We're on the downer.
I'll give you
quickly.
why. I'll give you why.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Give me the whys.
Jared Verse, Matthew Stafford, offense, defense, just like that. Matthew Stafford has been one of those solid quarterbacks that everyone doubted because he was on the NFC, because he was on the Lions. The Lions weren't winning anything. Blah 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 blah. Watch his tape. That's all I gotta fucking say. Watch his tape. Aaron Rodgers will tell you to watch Matthew Stafford's tape. Steelers, because I'm a Steelers fan, and I have faith in us, and I really think we're gonna go that far. But as far as the Rams were this close to beating the Eagles. This close. It could have been a totally different Super Bowl if the Rams won. But it is what it is. The Rams didn't. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I feel. Matthew Stafford is very slept on. Devontae Adams is not. I don't really feel the trade there too. Well, not the trade, but the trade off on Devontae Adams and Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is a triple crown. I never gave him up. That's just me, but that's how I see it. Rams, Steelers.
All right. You heard it first, everyone. CJ, Rams, Steelers. Alex, who is your Super Bowl picks this year?
I was looking forward to doing a Final Four, but if we have to preview it a little further, I'm going to go Ravens, Eagles. I think that Eagles are still by far and away the best team in the league.
The Battle of the Birds?
The Battle of the Birds, yeah. I think this is just a match waiting to happen. I think that the Ravens have had painful, excruciating shortcomings the past few years, which is always a recipe for a team waiting to take its time on the mantle. So I think that they'll be there at the end of the year facing off against the Eagles. And just, barring any major injury, I think that the Eagles just have two at every position. I think they're loaded. So I got Eagles, Ravens.
I like that pick. Desmond, are you being a homer in this one?
Yeah, I mean, like, first of all, I want to say, just for karma's sake, for the juju's sake, like, I want the Eagles to be in the Super Bowl, and I also agree with you, Alex. I think the Ravens will be there. I expect the Ravens to get all the way there this year, get over the Chiefs hump, beat the Bills in the playoffs as well. But I don't want to be boring, be too much of a homer here. So I'll say if the Eagles don't make it, I expect the other team in the NFC to be the Detroit Lions. I think that I know people are really hot on the Rams right now. I think the Packers are, a hot conversation now that Micah Parsons is there. People are wondering about the 49ers or Washington, the Commanders. I think that Detroit, with that offense coming back, I think they have enough there. They don't really need to have Ben Johnson there to really know how to still have that offense clicking at high levels. That defense will be so much better than it was last year. I think Detroit has everything they need to take that final step and kind of get in there. And I'm hoping that they don't. But if the Eagles don't make it, I think it'll be the Lions.
Bro, I love you to death. I could not disagree anymore. I think losing Ben Johnson was not just the glue, but I think if you look at the recipe, the way that the Bills took a step back after Dable left, and then after who was the other guy that was there that was working with Burrow down at LSU.
And I agree 100% with him.
I think the same.
The losing of Ben
happen.
Johnson was crazy.
It's going to be a regressional step, and they got to play the Packers twice.
Yeah.
I think it's a big loss. I think it's more underrated than people think.
Time will tell.
Time will
Yes,
tell.
absolutely.
Time will
We will
tell.
check in a few weeks, everyone.
Yeah. Don't worry. This is not a one and done, guys. We're going to be doing this all
Yes,
year,
that's right.
all season.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with Alex. I'm doing the battle of the birds as well. I think it's going to be the Ravens and the Eagles. I think the Ravens are the best team in football, hands down. I know the AFC is going to be tough. Obviously, Bills, the Chiefs, other teams that might surprise us this year. But I think they're going to get over the hump. I just think that they're just incredible as a team. So I'm going to go Ravens over the Eagles, and then I think the Eagles are just, again, however, it was a masterclass all off season, left and right, claiming players they shouldn't have claimed and brewing taboos and all that stuff. But great pickups all throughout the season. But so yeah, I think it's gonna be the battle of the birds. It's gonna be a fun as hell Super Bowl between them. But that's the early prediction. So with that, we're gonna talk about one of the besides of the birds. It's opening night tomorrow.
Yep.
As a lot of you know, and this podcast we drop in then. So we're gonna look at some betting, talk a little about the game a little bit as well. But with that, like I said, it's Dallas at Philadelphia, banner raise tomorrow night. So should be a fun, exciting start of football. So with that, we're going to look at some bets. So we're going to go with your favorite bet to watch in the opening game between Dallas and Philly. Again, if you're not bettors out there, don't worry about it if you're not. But if there's something that piques your interest in your betting and you want to listen to us, what is your bet to watch? Desmond, as the fan that's going to be on the couch excited seeing the banner being raised, what is your bet to watch here between those two?
I'm going to be 100% honest with y'all. I was a little confused about what exactly this subject was when we were looking at it in the chat earlier. Are we talking about like a prop bet or
prop bet, money line bet, things like that? I can go first. Like you say, what I've been.
Yeah, if you would, because I think I was a little confused on like the bet part of this.
Yeah, so
this particular one.
My bet is a prop bet. I love Saquon Barkley 2+ touchdowns. This is according to DraftKings at plus 275 right now. I think even though Jerry Jones wants to stop the run, he's not stopping the Saquon Barkleys of the world. So I think he's going to have a receiving touchdown. I think he's going to have a rushing touchdown. That's 2+ touchdowns right there at plus 275 according to DraftKings.
Okay.
I'm loving Saquon Barkley 2+ touchdowns. I'm not bet.
I got it then. So the line for the game is 47.5. I'm definitely going under on this one.
Ooh. Okay.
I think that the Eagles offense is notorious for being slow out the gate. I think that Dallas's offense, they're gonna be coming out there feeling great about having CeeDee Lamb and having George Pickens. I think they're gonna look a little sloppy. I think this will actually be more of a defensive low scoring game, something closer like 21-17. Dallas always keeps it close with us. I don't expect this to be a blowout by any means. Low scoring game, close game. Go under.
I like that. CJ.
I'm actually going to agree with Des on this one.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
You're taking the under?
Yeah. Just like he said, they're going to get drunk off that CD George Pickens high. Yeah. This is going to be a defensive game. I'm agreeing with I got nothing else to say on that
one. Alex, what's yours?
So this is usually my weak spot. I'm not a bettor. But if we're kind of perusing the internet and kind of getting creative here, I'm going to go with Pickens at 60 plus receiving yards for 104. I think that he's going to be kind of the lone guy that they're going to lean on in the opening game. And I agree with what Desmond said. I think they're going to keep it close. They typically do with this rivalry.
Talk to me nice, Alex.
I'm expecting something around a 2013 kind of game. So
I like it.
Talk to me nice, Alex. That's what I like to hear.
Former Steeler George Pickens. Realizing before we kind of wrap, we did not talk MVP in the award competition.
No, we did not.
We did not. So
MVP too crazy to talk about. That's like that shit kind of.
It is a little crazy, but I think it's the perfect way.
Or comeback player.
Our first podcast. Do you want
somebody got a grudge on their shoulder?
I can go first.
Somebody got a grudge on their shoulder.
Do you want to do both awards, just MVP, guys? I'll go to the floor here. Do you just want to do MVP? You want to do comeback player?
Let's do it.
Both MVP. We'll go MVP. We'll wrap up the first episode of this podcast. Maybe if anyone else has any final words, we can go through that too before we wrap up. But again, sorry, we're talking awards. We forgot to talk about the biggest award of the NFL season. That is the MVP. Desmond, you volunteered to go first. Desmond, you have the floor. Who do you have winning MVP?
Real quick. Can we rapid fire our picks for week 1?
Yeah, we can wrap up the show with some quick rapid fires as
Okay,
well. If you want to do
shoot,
that?
go
But
ahead. Go ahead.
going back to MVP, reverting back, Desmond.
MVP,
MVP.
Patrick Mahomes.
Actually,
Ooh,
I know that
he
that's a
sits-
really unpopular kind of like take
You're
out
an
Patrick
asshole. You're
Mahomes.
an
Really,
asshole.
seriously.
You're a
Josh
fucking
Allen,
asshole.
Lamar Jackson, it should. Joe Burrow had a great. No, I think the Chiefs are going to come back with a vengeance this year.
You're a fucking asshole.
I think they're going to get all the way to the AFC Championship game. I think that Patrick, because he's going to have so many different like pieces to spread it around to. Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown's healthy this year. Travis, Kelsey's going to be a little better this year. I think the Chiefs are going to score a lot of points. I think that offense is going to take a jump again, kind of like where they've been in the past. And I think Patrick Mahomes will actually take the MVP this year because the Chiefs are probably going to get like 13 or 14 wins this year.
yeah. I mean, it's not awful take. I think people think the Chiefs are going to go on the decline. Desmond thinks otherwise. Well,
I think they bounce back.
You're going to see. Wait to see otherwise. Alex, who's your pick for MVP?
MVP, Jaden Daniels. I love
That, okay.
I love
Okay.
year 2.
I hope not.
I know
Yeah,
you.
for our sake, Desmond.
I know you.
For our sake.
I love what they did in the offseason, shoring up McLaurin, even though it was a pretty penny. Their defense is stout. I think that they have really great inertia going into next year. I love what the head coach did, and with that congruency with Cliff Kingsbury with that offense, that fusion between the two with Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn.
Sorry, the blonde moment. But the two of them, they've really hit a chord. I think that they showed a lot of fight in that playoff game last year when they ended their season. But that Detroit game really showed me a lot of electricity with Daniels being able to scramble out of the pocket. He was top 15 in all significant statistical categories last year when it came to scrambling out of the pocket, full offense. I think that he's going to be right there at the end of the year for MVP.
I like it. My pick for MVP is not going to surprise anyone. I'm going Lamar Jackson. I think he should have won it last year, and he's only gotten better. Again, Josh Allen won it. Again, I was on the Lamar train, but again, I was fine with Josh Allen winning it at the end of the day. So I think he's going to have another fantastic year. He's only gotten better, like I said. He's worked, and he's arguably on the best team in football. So I think he's going to have another monster year. I'm going Lamar Jackson for easy, quick comments. I don't think I'd have to go through his whole background. Lamar Jackson MVP. Siege?
I can't lie. Once again, back to back, I'm going with Desmond. It's Patrick Mahomes. And I won't lie to you.
Yeah.
He had a bad year last
World's
year.
ending, guys. World's gonna end. I'm just kidding.
He had a bad year last year. He's got too many targets this year. And I feel like he's gonna come make a real big comeback. Kelsey's getting married. He's got something to prove. Patrick Mahomes. That's just my pick.
I like it. And then with that, I know it's like I said, getting later on our side, so we won't do all of week 1 for rapid picks. I think we're gonna have fun with what I'm doing. I think we're gonna do, since the season starts tomorrow, and then we got a game on Friday. I think it's relatable now to do our
Wait. Week 1 game Friday?
There is a game tomorrow, and then there's the international game in Brazil on Friday.
Oh,
so I think for us, I think we should just do 2 opening games to technically start the year. Just to go real quick before we go through a whole laundry list of games and reasons why. So I guess tomorrow, start of season, rapid picks. If you have to pick right now for Dallas at Philly, banner being raised in Philadelphia, game kicks off 8:20. Eagles favored -8.5. Desmond, who do you have in
I got
your
the Eagles.
game? Understood. That's rapid fire. I think that's why I went to you first. I knew you're going to be 2 seconds. Alex, rapid fire. Go. Who's your pick? Cowboys and Eagles.
Eagles.
You're going Eagles as well. CJ.
It's a consensus. It's a consensus.
You're going Eagles. I can't root for the Dallas Cowboys as a Giants fan. I can't root for the Eagles.
I would never root for the Cowboys.
But I hate Dallas more.
Cowgirls.
I don't know. I don't know if I hate that. I hate both of them kind of. Hate's a strong word. But anyway, I'm going to stop the rapid fire. I'm going Eagles as well. Clean sweep, 4-0. All of us picking the Eagles to win. So we'll see. Now, the Friday game in Brazil. So again, technically the Chargers are home, but we know the Chiefs travel well. So
Chargers are never home.
And Chargers are never home, regardless.
Just like
right
the Raiders
now,
are never home.
the spread of this game is a lot closer than I thought. It looks like, according to a lot of places, it's -3.5 in favor of the Chiefs in Brazil. Sorry, it went lower now to 3 according to DraftKings. Game Friday, 8 o'clock. Chiefs at Chargers in Brazil. Desmond, who you got?
Chiefs.
Going Chiefs. Okay, Alex, who do you got in the rapid fire?
Chiefs 30-24.
30-24 with the score. Okay, Chiefs covering the spread. Siege, who do you got? Chiefs,
It's a
Chargers. in
motherfucking
Brazil.
consensus.
I think these are the easy first 2 games. Again, I think if we went through the whole, I think it's going to go way long. But I think consensus, all of us, I think we're all picking Chiefs. Chiefs in Brazil. They're going to travel. They're going to have home field regardlus anyway. I think I have a lot of fans there. I'm going to have Chiefs. I'm going to have Chiefs covering.
Yo,
the spread at 3.
hey young.
Yeah.
Give me a what's it called? A sleeper game.
Oh, sleeper game? Okay, we can do. You guys want to do one real quick sleeper game? I have mine already. I think Giants are over the Commanders week 1. I think Giants over the Commanders week 1. You heard it here first. I'm not trying to be biased. A lot of people are looking at that game. New year, new Giants.
I
think
hope
they're gonna
that the
beat
Giants
the
beat the Commanders week 1.
That's my sleeper pick.
I'm pulling for the Giants this week.
You're pulling for the Giants week. Do you
I'm
have a
pulling
sleeper
for the
pick?
Giants this week.
Do you have a sleeper pick, Desmond? If not, it's okay. Move around.
A sleeper pick. I wasn't really ready for a sleeper pick.
I
got one. I got one.
You weren't.
Okay.
I like the Raiders over the Patriots.
Raiders over the Patriots. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be there. I'll be there at that game.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I think the Raiders are going to be sneaky good this year, and I think the Patriots are kind of the victims of a little bit of a overhype going on right now.
I like that, and let me just see if I can get the spread real quick. Spread. Raiders are the under at 3. At 3, I'm at -118 right now. They're +3, so Desmond likes that one. Alex, who's your sleeper? Their sleeper game. Are you agreeing with Desmond? Are you picking another game?
Well, I love that pick, but I'm going with a different game, and I apologize. I have not seen the spread as of this morning, but I'm going to go with the Texans going into Los Angeles and beating the Rams.
All right. They are the underdog by 3 points right now.
Okay,
at the Rams by 3.
Yeah,
I like that pick. That's a good one as well. I think that defense for the Texans. So just real quick, we're kind of going rapid fire.
That could be a top 3 defense.
That could be a top 3, but also with Matt Stafford's back, that's not the defense you want to face week 1.
Nope.
That is not. Nope. So that's a game to look out for, especially fantasy owners, injury wise. Keep an eye out. That one big hit from Will Anderson could knock Matt Stafford out for a little while. So keep an eye on that. CJ, you wanted to propose your sleeper pick, so I'll let you do it, and we'll wrap up this first edition of the podcast. So who's your sleeper pick? What's your pick for this week?
My sleeper pick is the Dolphins. And not the Dolphins, I'm sorry. The Jets versus the Dolphins. The Jets versus the Dolphins. The Colts versus the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I'm picking the Colts.
You're picking the Colts. Daniel Jones, starting quarterback. They
are I know.
Favored shockingly at home. They're favored at home shockingly.
They're favored at home?
-1.5. They're the slight underdog on the money line at 115 to 105. But right now you can get +1.5 on the Dolphins to beat the Colts. So the weird little.
Can I just have one quick thing here?
Little one.
I was looking at. Go ahead.
If anyone's listening, for people out there listening, if you have any money and you're trying to bet something this week, bet everything on the Dolphins. The Colts haven't won their week 1 game in 12 years.
Yeah.
And they have lost their week 1 game the last 11 years in a row.
That's where you're going to fuck up. Wow. Do not do it. Do not do it.
The second team has like 4 years in a row.
Don't do it. If Tom Brady's throwing the ball in the playoffs, don't do it. It's like the Patriots. Don't do it. You don't put all your money on it. 50%.
Just saying.
Boo. In terms of betting, the A. Young avoid bet is not happening this week. There's no spreads yet at over 10. Everyone knows it's a rule before I wrap up the podcast. If I see a bet over 10 on a spread, I tell people to avoid that bet. It's
God.
Never works out well, trust me. So we haven't seen that yet. We might see later in the season, depending on how bad the teams are. But all right, that'll do it for the first episode of the Yards
After Catch, baby
podcast. Just want to thank everyone, Desmond, Alex, CJ, for joining us again. I've been your host, Alex Young. We're going to wrap up. People are going to be hosts some week, other weeks. We're going to have more people, more games to talk. But again, great first episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, follow on the YouTube page, follow us on Spotify. We'll be doing this throughout the whole year. So again, thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Later, guys.
And we're going to be doing after season work.
As well. Never ends. At Yards After the Catch.